A Bible story about Rahab, an unexpected hero, by Rachel Spear Weaver and Anna Haggard. Rahab's story can be found in Joshua chapter 2 and chapter 6, Matthew chapter 1 verse 5, Hebrews chapter 11 verse 31, and James chapter 2 verse 25. Based on the story found in the Old Testament, an unexpected hero follows the biblical narrative of the heroine Rahab, imagining how she responded to the events recorded in Scripture. "Let's play hide and seek," yelled Rahab. Growing up in the big, bustling city of Jericho, Rahab knew every inch and corner of its streets and marketplaces and all the hiding spots along Jericho's walls. "You're it," she said, tagging her eldest brother. Grabbing her little sister's hand, Rahab rushed with her sister through the city streets to find a hiding spot. Suddenly, Rahab saw a small, tight space in the wall. Only one person could fit. Should Rahab take it or give it to her sister? "Hide," Rahab instructed her sister, giving up her hiding space. But Rahab didn't have time to hide. "Got you," said her oldest brother. With eyes gleaming, he asked, "Now where's your sister?" Rahab would never tell where her sister was hiding. She always protected her siblings. As she grew up, Rahab began spending time with people who didn't love her and who treated her poorly. She made a lot of bad choices. Rahab wanted desperately to change her life. One day, from her home deep in the city wall, Rahab spotted two young travelers. "They look like Israelites," she said. Everyone in Jericho was talking about the people of Israel. Their God loved them and did mighty miracles, like parting the Red Sea and leading them to a new land. Rahab wondered, could the God of the Israelites love me too? Suddenly, the two men were at her door. She peeked out. "Tell me honestly, are you Israelites?" she asked. The strangers wondered whether to trust Rahab. The taller man nodded. "Yes, God told us this land will be ours, and we are here to explore it," he whispered. Rahab knew the king of Jericho would not be pleased the Israelites were staying in the city, and he would want to capture them. Taking a deep breath, Rahab made a big decision, one that would change her life. "Come quickly." Rahab pulled them into the house. She scanned the room for places to hide. Behind water jars? Under blankets piled for sleeping? In the storage room? Then she spied the ladder to the roof. No one will look there, Rahab thought. She led the spies through the roof's trapdoor and hid them under flax laid out to dry. But Rahab wasn't the only one who had seen the spies. The king of Jericho knew the two Israelites had stopped at Rahab's house, and they weren't welcome here. The king sent his messenger to Rahab's door. "Where are the two men who entered your home?" the king's messenger bellowed. With her heart beating fast, Rahab had to choose. Who would she help? The evil king or the people of God? The Israelites' God is bigger, and the king of Jericho and his armies. God is the one I must follow. Though scared, Rahab knew protecting the Israelites was the right thing to do, and that gave her great courage. "The men were here, but left when it grew dark," she answered the king's messenger. "Chase them down. You can catch them." Following winding streets, the messenger and his troops ran out of the city in search of the two men. Clang! The king shut the city gate after the troops. The only way to enter or leave Jericho was through the gate. The spies were trapped inside Jericho. Though Rahab didn't know the God of the Israelites, she needed help. Would God listen to Rahab? She began to pray. God, I know you're real. Help me break these two men free from Jericho's great wall. God listened to Rahab. Suddenly, in the corner of the room, she noticed a red rope. She had an idea. Grabbing the coil of rope, she climbed the ladder to the roof where the men were hiding. The king of Jericho has barred the gate, and you're locked in the city, she said quickly. But your God is bigger than the king and has given me a plan. Unrolling the scarlet rope, she hung it outside her window. Climb down and escape, she said. But first, promise me that when you and the Israelites return to take over Jericho, you will care for my family. They agreed. Keep this rope in the window, the spies said. That way we will recognize your house and your family will be saved. And with that, they were gone. Sometime later, the Israelite army surrounded the city of Jericho. They marched around its thick wall once a day for 6 days. On the 7th day, God told the Israelites to march around the city 7 times. During the 7th time, they blew horns and shouted at the top of their lungs. Inside the wall, Rahab covered her ears. The noise was so loud. Here's that red cord. Crack, pop, boom! The God of the Israelites was causing the city's wall to fall. As the wall collapsed around them, Rahab and her family ducked in a corner. Silence came over the household. The candles had blown out. It was black. How would anyone find Rahab and her family now? Would God remember Rahab? Crash. Someone was outside. The scarlet cord, yelled a familiar voice. Rahab's house, exclaimed another. The two spies broke through the rubble and found Rahab and her entire family. They were saved. Climbing through the wreckage, Rahab was greeted by the leaders of the Israelite people. We heard how your courage saved 2 of our spies. Because of your bravery, your family is now part of our family. Rahab cried with joy. God had given her a new home, a new people, a new beginning. Most of all, Rahab had risked everything to believe in the God of the Israelites, and she had discovered God loved her too. Because of her courage, God made Rahab a part of the greatest story on earth. She became the great, 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 great grandmother to Jesus. Our reflection questions for these books. This one is, how was Rahab brave in this story? What happened to the wall after the Israelites yelled and marched around Jericho? And when the spies were stuck inside Jericho's wall, Rahab asked God to give her an idea to help them escape, and God heard Rahab. When have you needed help? Remember, you can always ask God for help, and God hears you. That is a Bible story about Rahab. an unexpected hero.